Welcome to this week's Tarotcast. Now before we jump into this, my lovely friends, don't forget to hit that like button, leave a message in the comments, or just share this with one of your friends. Now with that said, let's jump into the message for the collective this week. This week's card for the collective is the Devil. Well, that's quite a jump because we did start off with the World this month and now we're in the place of the Devil. And maybe we've been a little bit comfortable in this worldly place. We've been a little bit happy with all of these opportunities that are ahead of us. And now we've maybe started to overindulge ourselves. Maybe we've started to step into some self-destructive tendencies or something because maybe we've just been feeling a little bit too comfortable, and maybe the world has been putting us in a place where maybe we're not feeling too much purpose. But do be careful. It is good to be in this place of comfort, but don't fall into any kind of traps at this point because this is what the Devil is doing. So do be careful of what kind of temptations are going to be presented to you this week. Okay, and what kind of things are we doing to ourselves that might be harming us in the long run? So, for the collective, guys, do pay attention to those temptations. Aries, this week you have the Two of Pentacles. Well, Aries, your card of the month was the Devil, and now we're stepping into the Two of Pentacles. We're gonna have to be balancing some things. We're gonna have to be juggling a few things. So it seems like there might be a bit of struggle with you this month dealing with the Devil, and even this week for the collective, we've got the Devil. So it looks like it could be a very tricky one. For you, there's going to be some level of multitasking, which you're gonna have to pay close attention to. Remember, when this card, the Two of Pentacles, does pop up, we want to be careful that we don't bite off two more that we can chew. It is important to multitask and take on more responsibilities, but if we take on too much and we're trying to juggle everything, it can all come crashing down. So stick within your limits, know your limits, and work to your strengths. Taurus, this week you have the Ten of Swords. Taurus, this month you're working with the Magician energy, but with the Ten of Swords turning up this week, it looks like you're going through a bit of struggles, and this could be some level of testing for that kind of manifestation to come through. There is going to be a level of struggle going forward, and you might even feel like that you might be hitting rock bottom. To understand though, with the Ten of Swords, this is the end of a cycle. It's not quite over yet. We may just have to go through this hard time, but do understand that if we do feel like we're hitting rock bottom is where we have a really big turning point. So understand that there's also transformation that comes with this card. So that Magician energy isn't completely lost this week. It just might mean might be hitting a bit of a lull. Gemini, this week we have the Page of Wands. Now this month we're working with the High Priestess, which is about stepping into our place of intuition and trusting ourselves, wisdom and knowledge. And now we're stepping into this week's energy of the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands asks us to go forward with a childlike enthusiasm. We have a curiosity about the world and we want to expand our knowledge on some certain topics. Now the High Priestess is going to aid us well this month and this week with this card, but we want to be looking at our creative side. We want to be looking at the things that make that fire burn within ourselves, our passions. These are the things that really drive us. What are our purpose? What is our purpose in the long run? What is our purpose this week? Understand that now is a time to expand that base and really grow from that. Cancer, this week your card is the Six of Wands. You're working with judgment this month, Cancer, and it looks like that work of reflecting that you might have been doing seems to be paying off. We seem to be stepping into a place of victory. This is a good card for a weekly card. This is to say that we've been working on something. We have had our mind set on it. We've had the ups and downs. We've been working hard, and now it's starting to work out, and we're starting to get what we've really put in, and now we can start to celebrate. So when we start to celebrate these things, you know that we've deserved it. We don't have to be feeling like we're in any kind of imposter feelings here. You have deserved what you have been putting in, what is coming your way. You've deserved it. So be grateful for it, be happy, and most importantly, celebrate it. Leo, this week you have the Two of Swords. Now, Leo, you're working with the Wheel of Fortune energy this month, which means you should be aware that nothing is happening by accident. This is fate. This is destiny. We have the Two of Swords turning up here, and this could be a little bit concerning for you, because with the Two of Swords, she's blocking off her emotions. She's blinding herself from the truth. So there may be some very big messages. There may be some very big events coming through right now that you should be trusting and you should be flowing with. Now, this card could be saying that maybe you've been ignoring these messages, or maybe these things just might be too good to be true and you can't believe it. Or maybe there's just something about it that doesn't sit right. We want to understand this week that we need to be open to it. We need to lift that veil, and we really need to see things for what they are, and we need to feel them. Don't block them out, because remember that Wheel of Fortune, you've got big things coming to you this month. Virgo, this week you have the Five of Wands. Now, Virgo, this month you did get the Justice card, which meant you needed to make some hard decisions. Some decisions that are going to affect those around you and yourself, and they might be difficult decisions. And we have the Five of Wands turning up here, which can be a card of struggle. This can be a card of competition, a card of conflict, and maybe we're just having a little bit of trouble making these decisions that the Justice card this month is calling for us. So do be aware that going forward with this energy of the Five of Wands, you're going to have to pull out your best foot forward, okay? You're going to have to step up to the plate. You're going to have to prove yourself. And some of these decisions regarding that Justice card, you might have to really justify yourself and prove to yourself that what you're doing is the right thing, and maybe prove to others as well. Libra, this week you have the King of Swords. Libra, this month you've got that Strength card coming through, digging deep and finding that strength, and now we've got the King of Swords. Now, this is telling us to really just step into a place of intellect, into a place of communication, a place of grounded energy. When we do get the King of Swords, it's asking us to really look at things pragmatically, looking at things logically. So when we've got that Strength card coming through, it might be important that we might need to find that strength to really step into that logical place. Maybe you've been a little bit too much into that feminine energy that might be a little bit too flowy, maybe a little bit too compassionate. This one here with the King of Swords, he's asking you to be very pragmatic. Trust your minds, trust your knowledge this week in moving forward. Scorpio, this week you have the Queen of Cups. Now, your monthly card this week, Scorpio, was the Tower. It means there's going to be a lot of transformation going through this week. Now, with that process of the Tower collapsing and really rebuilding from the beginning, the Queen of Cups is asking us this week to work with compassion, to work with kindness. There could be some pretty heavy elements going through this week right now, and it's important that this card is reminding us to really share that love, share that compassion, be that kind of person that can hold space for others, hold space for yourself, do some self-care for yourself. There is a lot of this compassionate, very motherly, feminine, flowy, watery energy, and you are a Scorpion, a water sign, and this is some ultimate water energy this week. Sagittarius, this week, your card is the Two of Wands. Now, your monthly card, Sagittarius, is the Moon. So the Moon is asking us to really look into our subconscious and even look at our shadow selves. Look at the parts of ourselves that we might be a little bit afraid to look at. And with this one, the Two of Wands, this week is about daydreaming, but it's also about looking into the future and considering what is possible. Now, if we're going to look into the future and consider what is possible, we're also going to have to deal with that moon energy, that subconscious and the fears that we have. We want to look forward, and it might be actually something looking forward this week with the Two of Wands is maybe it's a good time to think, how are we going to be conquering those fears? What actions are we going to take? Okay, understand that anything is possible. When we do get the Two of Wands coming forward, there shouldn't be any limiting thought. There shouldn't be anything, any words in your head telling you something can't be done. No, the Two of Wands is reminding us that we need to think big, we need to dream big. Capricorn, this week, your card is the Page of Swords. So Capricorn, your monthly card is the Sun card, which means you should be going into things with a lot of joyous energy, optimism. We want to be going into it with a lot of joy. Now, we've got the Page of Swords coming through, and the Page of Swords is asking us to expand our knowledge, as all the pages do. Go into it with some enthusiasm, go into it with this childlike curiosity. It is a time to learn. Now, it is a time to learn more on that mental body, on our level of communication. So understand, this could be a time maybe to pick up a book, read something like a self-help book, do an online course or something. We want to be understanding how the mind is ticking, how the mind is acting and what it's been doing. And we want to expand on this and we want to improve ourselves. Aquarius, this week you have the Six of Pentacles. This is the card of giving and receiving. Now, we are also in the monthly energy of the Empress, so we want to be working with a lot of divine energy during this time. So when we're in this energy of giving and receiving and understanding this, we want to be coming from a place of love, from a place of compassion, okay? With that feminine energy of the Empress. Now, it's important to know that when we do have this Six of Pentacles, this giving and receiving, we do want to understand that it is a good time to help people and share with others, but we don't want to overshare and we don't want to give people too much help. We don't want to put them into a point where they start losing agency to look after themselves, but it's also a card reminding us to receive, okay? This might be in a moment when you're kind of like, oh, I'm very strong, I can do this all by myself. If someone is out there asking if you need help, offering a hand, don't let your ego get in the way. This is time to take that hand and take that help as it comes this week. Pisces, this week, your card is the King of Wands. Pisces, this week is a time to move forward with your passions, with your creativity, but it's also important not to forget about your responsibilities. And this is what the King of Wands does best. He knows that he's got his responsibilities and he has to get done what he has to do. But he also knows that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So it's important to really put that time aside, plan things out when it is you're going to indulge yourself in your passions, in your creative outlets. You do want to look after yourself, okay? We do want to allow that fire to continue burning, but we don't want to do this at the expense of the responsibilities that we also have, whether that's work, friends, or family. We want to find that good balance, and we want to maybe set a schedule for when it is we are going to indulge ourselves in our passions, our creative side. And that's the Tarotcast for this week, guys. So thank you for joining me. If you haven't already, do hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with somebody else. But until next week, big love. I'll catch you then. Ciao.